All right, Nathan, let's get things started here. In women's pro class, Mike Tyrell, bring out our archers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the women's open pro class. Our first competitor on target 5 for her first ever pro shoot down. Let's give her a big round of applause. Mackenzie Bergman from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. She shoots for Mathews, Gold Tip, True Ball, Bee Stinger, and Excel. All right, next up, Lindsay Christensen from Weston, Idaho. She has no idea how long she's been shooting pro. She shoots for Prime, Gold Tip, Hamsky, Q21, Elevation, Carter, and Apex Bowstrings. All right, on stake 3, coming in third is Cara Kelly from Lapeer, Michigan. Cara shoots for Mathews, Conquest Stabilizers, Black Eagle Arrows, True Ball Excel, Maven Optics, and TAC Vanes. And from Marsden, Saskatchewan is Erin McGladdery, shooting for Hoyt, Gas Bowstrings, AAE, Easton, and Kafaru International. And in first place for, I don't know, the 15th time in the last few years, Sharon Wallace from Townville, South Carolina, shooting for PSE, Black Eagle, Conquest, Stand, Gas Bowstrings, and Excel Sights. All right, just a reminder, due to TV considerations, we will not be able to suspend the shooting clock. You will have 1 minute to shoot. Be mindful of that.
All right, Nathan, so for folks just tuning in for the first time, what we're doing here is we've got a field of 5 targets and 5 archers. Every archer is going to take a shot at one target, and then we're going to rotate through. And these targets here, this is an unknown distance class, so they are judging how far away these targets are. In this class, we know it's a maximum of 50, a little wiggle room. It can be a little farther than that. 50 yards is generally the maximum. And Nathan, we're going to jump right up here so you can see we've got our 3 archers, left to right, Cara Kelly, Lindsay Christensen, Mackenzie Bergman, and you can see each of the targets that they're shooting at. Leopard, javelina, turkey.
Yep, over on the leopard, see the grass moving? That will just tell you right away what these archers are having to deal with. There is some wind out there, so they're going to get some drift with their shots, with their arrows. Plus, they got to execute a good shot in that condition. So conditions are changing. We've had a lot of wind here already, and then it gets dead, and then it starts blowing again. So this could be a challenging shoot-off, as it always is pretty much, but the conditions make it even harder. So, but these gals are prepared. They're ready.
There's a 10 for Sharon Wallace to move her to 422. And we did still see that left drift on Sharon's first shot there, Nathan.
Yeah, it looks like that we're getting that wind that's coming out of the west again. So it's going from west to east, which in our vantage point here where we're sitting, that would be right to left. So we're going to see some left arrows.
So that was a 10 there for Erin McGladdery, and we saw that one. That was a good example of pulling the line, but it didn't touch the line.
Right. These archers, with the arrows, all they have to do is touch that line, like you said, and sometimes that gets really hard to determine for these scores. Has it pulled it far enough to touch it, or is it actually, is it out? And sometimes the lines themselves are distorted, and that makes it really hard for the scorers to make a good call. So what typically happens with these scores, if they have, there's a good 10 there for Lindsay, but what these scorers typically do, if they have any doubt whether it's in or out, they give it to the archer, the higher score.
Scott Parrott, our director of shooting, has said if he has no clear evidence that it's out, then it's in.
Yeah,
that's how he explained it to me.
And scoring arrows is a judgment call.
For sure.
It's part of what we do, and it's a difficult job, and it's a thankless job at times. And
Scott will agree with you.
Right. But it is a difficult job to do and appease everyone for sure. And a lot of times these camera angles are, honestly, it's just hard for the camera to get everything
right
that the scorer can actually see when he's standing there in front of the target looking at it with all the light that he needs to see it. But
there's a look at Mackenzie Bergman, as we mentioned. This is her first year shooting the pro class, and she's in her first shoot down. And look at that stabilizer, Nathan. If she's nervous, it's not showing too much in her hold.
Well, she has done this her whole life. She's prepared for it. Her family, she's from a long line of archers. Her dad, Eddie, has shot for years. I know him personally. They live right there in Uniontown, PA, which is where Levi Morgan is from. Actually, Mackenzie told me that she moves his targets around for him and practices on his range, and Eddie does all the mowing and weed eating and everything to keep the range up. And apparently Levi doesn't shoot it at all.
He never practices.
Okay, first up.
All right, we're going to start here with Mackenzie Bergman. There's a look over Cara Kelly's shoulder, shooting that leopard.
She's got such a smooth shot and delivery, which obviously, if she's in this class and doing what she's done as long as she has, to have the success she's had, she's good. There's no doubt. But I love watching good mechanics, and she has great mechanics when it comes to shooting.
So Mackenzie started off with a 10, and Sharon takes a 10, which, Nathan, we should mention here, Sharon came in with a 412. We consider 400 to be par. 40 targets we shot in qualification. 10s would be, all 10s would be 400. That's kind of what we consider par for folks in a golf terminology. And then the 12s, you're going to go above 400. So she came in with 12 up. Obviously, she hit several 12s to get there.
Yeah, rarely. Not often do you see scores below that 400 score, and when you do, you typically know that it was a really difficult course or conditions were really, really difficult, because the top 5 archers typically are above that par, that 400 even score. So,
right.
Of course, obviously, with 5 more arrows on here, now par would be a 450 as we add these scores up and go along through here.
So these ladies in the women's pro this weekend, there were 18 competitors. So these ladies obviously are the top 5 scores there. And yeah, as you mentioned, if it's down, that's, they're shooting 8s or 5s, and in the class like this, a judging class, it's typically, a judging error. They got the distance wrong. Because these ladies, they shoot, their speed cap is 290 feet per second, 280 feet per second, 280 feet per second, which is 10 feet per second shorter than the men's. And so, yeah, they got to be a little bit tighter in their judging.
And the reason why they do that is it's a little bit more level playing field for all those gals, because obviously we just saw Erin
McGladdery,
and she's tall, she's obviously very strong, and so
long arms.
Yes, she's going to have a long draw length, so that's going to give her bow a lot of power stroke, which means she's got more energy, which relates to a big heavy arrow compared to the other girls. So unless they're able to pull. Ooh, we got somebody
Nathan,
shooting at 14 ring here. I got to interrupt myself.
Well, and also we got a little rain falling now.
I see a little bit, yeah.
A little rain coming down there. I can see the edges of the storm clouds here, so I don't think it's going to be much. But as Mike Tyrell mentioned, do you put the umbrella up for rain, or do you put it to block the wind?
Yeah, because you only get one.
Yeah.
So I'd say right now they put the umbrella up and
while they're waiting.
And then when they draw their bow back, put it over there for wind. So just for those viewers that haven't watched this before in the format here, we have an upper 12 and a lower 12, as I discussed. And what you'll see sometimes with the camera view, you'll see the archer shooting, and we have a cone basically that either stays behind the shooter, which is where it should normally be if they just walk up to the target. That's where it's going to be. But if they want the upper 12, they move that cone out to the front.
Right.
So they're calling their shot.
Yeah, so that was a 12 for Erin, I believe that was on the leopard. We'll see when our score. Yeah, that was Erin that had the upper 12 there on the leopard. So now she has moved into first place. Look at this, Nathan.
Yep.
441, 1 point ahead of Sharon Wallace.
Yeah, Sharon dropped an 8 on that last target, and we have a new leader.
And unless my memory isn't the greatest, Nathan Brooks, but I don't believe Erin McGladdery has ever won an ASA. She's won at IBO, but I don't think she's ever gotten an ASA win.
I would have to agree with that. I'm not 100% certain, but
neither am I.
Cara Kelly is a mainstay in this class. She does extremely well. That's who we're looking at right there.
She's won here multiple times.
Oh yeah,
in this tournament.
Did you see that arrow? Straight left.
Straight left. Yep.
Or if she was shooting at the upper, it was straight low.
So
maybe
we just
misjudged it slightly.
We just saw Sharon Wallace let down, so they do get a minute to shoot. So obviously something wasn't right, so she let the bow down to reset, and she still has plenty of time to get the shot off.
Look at the wind blowing.
But yeah,
Keith's doing all he can to hold that umbrella. Oh, you can see the grass blowing.
Yeah.
434, trailing 7 points behind.
Good look at Lindsay Christensen there, just left of the lower 12. That's what she was shooting at, and that was a perfect angle. You could see the wind blowing. You could see the arrow just tail to the left. And
Cara takes a 10 on the first target. We're coming around to Lindsay.
For Lindsay.
I believe Lindsay was shooting. Yeah, she was shooting at the lower.
And Mackenzie Bergman.
Should move her to 438.
Yep, 438.
And Mackenzie had the. I think that's like the wind got her right there.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. You get a good strong gust, and it grabs the front of that bow. And if your release is almost ready to fire, then the movement will fire that shot, and that arrow, who knows where it's going to go.
Yeah. Hey, this will be a great learning experience for her getting out here.
Yeah, for sure.
Testing the nerves.
Erin calling the upper 12 on the turkey.
So this is the shortest target out here, is the turkey, and I imagine Erin probably went for something here. We don't know the distances. They were moved from our. Oh,
it's a low 12. She called it.
Yeah. So there's a perfect example.
Yeah, she called the upper.
Yeah.
And more than likely, the smart play there is the upper anyway on that particular target. Wait, hold on just a second. No, I have that in reverse. I was actually going to say it would be smart to shoot at the upper because the wind drift would be pulling you that direction, but I was seeing that in reverse. That's backwards out there. So
I think it's smart on the turkey to go for the upper anyway, Nathan, because the distance above it to the 8 and 5 is much bigger than below it. You miss it low, and boy, you're flirting with a 5.
Yeah, the hardest thing about that is the aiming marks. It is easier for me personally to aim at the lower because you have the feather paintings on the wing.
The white.
Yeah. And so it's easier to aim and find it unless you're shooting a big scope, big lens where you can actually bring those rings up and actually see them.
Look at Erin. We saw her there. She was trying to time the gusts because it is fairly calm right now.
She's going to want to get through that quick if she can. Yep.
Oh, and she smoked that upper.
She called upper.
And she called it.
Yep.
It's Cara Kelly. That's a long hold.
Ooh.
Boy, that's going to be close.
Yeah, that.
Our leader by 1 point.
I don't want to say in or out.
Yeah. But Erin McGladdery's, there's no doubt there.
Great look at Erin right here
on this boar.
Did you see the tail end of that arrow? When it come out of the bow, it did a wiggle.
Yeah.
And I watched her shoot in Kentucky on the practice range, and she was getting beautiful arrow flight. So that doesn't mean that the arrow's kicking out of the bow. That means it was a wind. It was a wind thing. so hard.
Oh, look at all the cracking.
Yeah.
That's where it gets difficult, because
Yeah.
where's the line with those cracks?
Right. It's all rippled, and you have to, as a scorer, you have to be able to determine exactly where that edge is at. And so that gets extremely difficult for these guys. And like you mentioned before, Scott has said if he can't definitively 100% say that it's out, he's going to call it in.
Let's see what we got here.
10.
10, all right.
Difficult call, but trust to get it right.
That's why Scott's the pro.
That's right.
Next up, Lindsay Christensen. Lindsay's a solid round.
So Lindsay Christensen here.
10.
And Lindsay, if she did not call upper, that
And
is a
another
solid
10.
12. Up, she did call upper. Well,
Take that action to the casino.
Lindsay Christensen from Weston, Idaho, her dad Benton Christensen, a well-known pro in the archery world.
Ooh, we got some flirting with a 14 ring here.
Okay.
Look at that pull.
Wow, and that is Mackenzie Bergman
I
here.
can't tell if it's got it or not,
Boy,
but
if
it's
she
a.
had just had a fatter arrow, Nathan.
I don't know. It might
Wow.
be. It could get called in. Look, I mean, where's the edge?
Yeah,
I mean, I can't see the edge.
I don't want to. I'm glad I'm not calling it. 14,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, I don't. That is a really difficult arrow to
She
call.
got it.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Good for Mackenzie there. Now we're coming around to Sharon, and she's got to make some moves here.
A 12 would put her
This is the turkey center
still be
10.
behind.
Another 10 for Sharon Wallace.
Yeah, and with
460.
Erin.
We're gonna go to the final arrow with Erin McGladdery at 460.
Erin got another couple points on her right there.
Yeah, so
Lindsay Christensen.
there it is, Nathan. Mike Tyrell just laid it out for us. So
Finishing up. Let's give a
we
round of
shoot
applause.
5 arrows. When we come to the 6th and final arrow, anyone within 10 points of the leader gets to shoot that arrow. If no one is, then Sharon Wallace, or the leader, would win. However, in this case, Erin McGladdery, 463. So Sharon Wallace and Cara Kelly are both within 10 points. So they will get to shoot this final arrow. Finishing out the top 5, Lindsay Christensen is 4th. Mackenzie Bergman will take 5th place.
Yeah,
But-
and congratulations to Mackenzie for making
Absolutely.
her first shoot off, and Lindsay obviously for finishing 4th. It's a good accomplishment.
Yep.
Just making the shoot down is fantastic.
This is a competitive class. There's several. There's probably 10 to 12 of them that any of them can be in the finals. We typically see Sharon and Cara. Erin this year has been a mainstay in this division in the finals as well. Lindsay, she's made a couple of shoot downs
Yep.
this season as well.
So what we're doing now
Yeah.
is they're going to shoot one final arrow, like you said.
Mhm.
They move a target for them because, again, this is unknown distance.
Right.
They're going to have to judge the distance to the target. Scott will actually set a new location for them for this final shot, this last chance archery final arrow.
Yes, we are shooting the antelope. They have determined that to be the target. And the shooting line is a couple yards in front of the regular shooting line, and they've kind of shifted them to the right of that target. They're not shooting directly where they had been shooting it, so moved them over, changed the perspective a little bit.
Yeah, scoot them forward, change the angles, and throw a target in a different position. And they have a. Let me just say they have a rough idea
Yeah.
of what it's not.
Of what it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not going to say they know what it is, but they got a rough idea of what it's not. So they'll be able to hone in, and plus it seems to be decently close. I'm not going to say it's like a really close shot, but for a final arrow, this is one of those where you could see a 14 ring hit by Sharon to put the heat on Erin,
Yeah.
and Erin would have to have a 12 or better to win.
Yeah, so we shoot from the bottom up, so Cara Kelly's going to get the first shot. She's not necessarily threatening the top 2, but this is for podium finish. That means thousands of dollars. in contingency money and prize money from the ASA.
And she probably shoot at the 14. Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
So that's going to be a low for an 8 from Cara Kelly, and she will finish in 3rd place. We've got 2 hours to shoot. No, she will finish 3rd no matter what, because even if any of the others miss the target, they'd still be ahead of her.
Yes.
She finishes at...
So what?
No, she shot an 8. Excuse me. I was thinking she shot a 5. So she'll be at 462. So Sharon Wallace has to hit the target to finish ahead of Cara Kelly. Pretty safe bet she will.
Stranger things have happened, but I'm going to say that she's not going to do that. And what she has now, if she didn't have what I would call a good aiming point at that 14, there's a little bit of rain falling out there. She's got an arrow hole that's directly below that 14. Now, depending on the distance and her lens power or what she's doing, if she can see that hole, one strategy she could use is to aim at that black hole and add about 1.5 yards to 2 yards onto her sight and watch her arrow rise right up into that 14.
And Sharon Wallace has hit big arrows on this stage before, many times.
Oh, she hit the hole.
Just over the hole.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be another 8. It's going to give her 468, which means Erin, I don't know the bonus ring situation, but
super close.
She hits the target and she ties Sharon Wallace. There may be a bonus ring break, but if Erin hits an 8 or better, she takes this tournament. And I have a feeling she's going to aim center 10 and donut that target.
Yeah. Now this, for our webcast or your Facebook Live that we did earlier, so we've already witnessed a couple of shoot downs, and we've seen some things happen that was kind of funny today. And one of them was the finals in the senior known pro division for the final arrow, and we saw Tim Gillingham step up when all he needed to do was
there she goes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She gets a win.
She was not going to chance on that. We're going to ask Erin, but I believe that is her first ASA win.
Yeah, so she center masses that thing.
Yeah.
We didn't see
no Tim Gillingham
I'll
there.
speed it up, yeah. No Tim Gillingham, where he decided to do something funny just for the heck of it, and but it worked out for him just fine. Congratulations to Erin. That's awesome.
Erin has been working hard at this. You know, she is just she's coming from far, far away, Marsden, Saskatchewan, so it's a travel for her to get anywhere. And so it's just, I know this is something that she has really wanted. She's going to come around to our winner's circle here. She's going to put those headsets on there, and she's got those headsets on. I think she can hear us. Erin McGladdery, Mathews Pro Am champ. Before you get to that, I told folks, I believe this is your first ASA win.
It is, finally.
How does that feel? Tell us about that.
Yeah, it feels awesome. I had a really good day right from the start. I changed my game plan a little bit this weekend. I decided I'm sick of hitting just below the uppers. I'm going to aim really aggressive all weekend and just see what happens. I've been judging good enough, I figured, to try that game plan, and it worked out.
So you said you changed that game plan a little bit. So you shoot at uppers primarily?
I shoot all uppers, and in the past I just haven't had the confidence in my numbers to aim right at them. But I've been working hard on yardage, and I've been judging really good, and I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try and aim right at them, and my setup's working really great. So.
Well, you know, we hit the practice range together with Darren Christensen in Kentucky, and I watched you shoot a lot of good arrows. So it doesn't surprise me at all to see you get this win. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Erin McGladdery, Mathews Pro Am champ, and your first ASA victory.
Thanks so much.